India is going to organize a monumental conference on human rights, and it is a global conference. To talk about the state of human rights, to talk about the conference, I am joined by the chairperson of the NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, Justice Retired Mr. Arun Mishra. Mr. Mishra, welcome to Times Now. I wish to ask you one question to begin with to understand the concept. What is it that is so crucial in today's day and age? I know that climate change is an important part of your discussions, and it's a very serious and upcoming challenge to human rights. Other than that, what is the significance of this global conference that you are organizing, Mr. Mishra?
Actually, we are reviewing our entire functioning of last 30 years. This is the first session with respect to what we have achieved in last 30 years and what is the way ahead. So in that we are going to discuss our best practices, what is the role played by NHRIs, in which field they have really served for the upliftment of the downtrodden class and to make a egalitarian society. Apart from that, we are going to discuss what is the way ahead, how NHRIs can contribute in attaining sustainable development goals, how they can compel their government, how they can compel the business to meet the obligations which have been fixed with respect to climatic change and all that up to 2030, and then zero carbon emission by 2070. So this now you see, then another issue which is going to be deliberated upon is this, that now internet is going to stay. It has proved very useful, but at the same time 96% of cyber is dark web, and now it is being used to commit most of the cyber crimes. Now traditional crimes are no more there. Now e-frauds, bank frauds, hacking of data, demand of ransom in cryptocurrency. You cannot trace where the ransom is going. And then child sexual abuse, slavery, gaming, so many things. Every crime is taking place virtually in cyberspace. It has become a menace rather, and it is across the border. Unless we cooperate internationally, different countries, and devise common joint strategy. See, these intermediaries of internet service providers must be held responsible to take down the offensive content from the web. When you are earning a revenue by uploading the contents or your OTT platform or something like that, it becomes your responsibility that your space should not be used for commission the crime against the humanity. And particularly we have held recently a conference on child sexual abuse material, which is there in abundance. Live streaming of the offense against a child is taking place, which is known to everybody that this offense is taking place and is being live streamed. It can be stopped. It's not that it cannot be stopped. Technology is there to stop it, but you see, there's no willpower to stop it. They want to earn the revenue.
What role can you play in it? What role can Human Rights
we can play.
play?
We are working seriously, and we have virtually we have finalized the advisory based upon our national conference which we held, in which international experts also participated. We are going to issue the same very soon. Now we will be asking the stakeholders, detailed guidelines we will be issuing, and in that we probably feel that we can ensure that human rights violation does not take place on this cyberspace, particularly with respect to child part, which we are dealing with in that advisory. And if that is used, that can be used safely against, as well against other commission of other offences too.
Justice Mishra, climate change is a very big issue staring us right in the face now. There is no more turning our faces away from that challenge. And large understanding of global body of work is that it is going to impact the poorest and the poor the most. It also includes their human rights as defined, lately. But there is a sense, Justice Mishra, across the world and more so in developing world, that human rights somehow are reserved for the rich and the mighty and the influential. What is it that your commission is doing in today's day and age at 2023, where human rights are such a big issue and issues like climate change are very closely intertwined with them, to ensure that the poor get their human rights? I mean, that's the challenge, right?
Definitely you are right that climate affects the poorest of poor more. Migration is taking place. Displacements are taking place due to climatic change. Their drought situation. They have to shift their residences. They have to abandon their agriculture operation and shift to other places. Then displacements are there due to flood situation. Sea level is also rising, you see, and then there is a extreme rain or no rains. So worst sufferer in this scenario by climatic change is definitely downtrodden class. We have to care for it. We ensure the resettlement of them. We ensure that we have interfered in several cases, and there several cases are pending with us with respect to farmer suicide also. That there should be some ameliorative scheme to give them certain relief when they are in the need of it, you see. That is a compulsion on the state to give them the aid when it is needed by them, you see. That is called distributive justice. It's not the distribution of the benefits, you see. Distributive justice concept is there, and it is compulsion upon the state. And court can also compel, NHRC can also require the state government to meet the needs, basic needs of the people when they require it, due to displacement, due to these kind of situations.
So do you think, Justice Mishra, that climate change and human rights and disturbance due to that requires a specific kind of intervention from you, or specific kind of a fund from the state government where you can direct that, pay the compensation like in various cases NHRC has done in the past?
Not only this, that we have to pay the compensation, but if you are going to deal with the environment and you are going to trying to achieve the sustainable development goal, in the process of, you see, changing the fuel to switching over to biofuel, and you are not using fossil fuel anymore, who will be the sufferer? The poor person will be the sufferer. Those who are miners involved in the mining will be the sufferer. So you have to arrange for their alternative employment too, while achieving your sustainable development goals. So they are the sufferer both the ways. And then, you see, we have to care for them in so many ways. And then let me share with you, we had received more than 8,700 cases of environment so far, and most of them have been decided, and we have secured the closure of polluting industries to the Pollution Control Board. We direct them to inspect and then take appropriate step and report back to us. If they find that industry is polluting and not following the emission norms, they close it till the time it meets those requirements, tertiary treatment plant or secondary treatment plant, whatever it is, or whatever is lacking. So we are doing the needful, and our process is very fast, you see. Within a month you will have the result. Within 6 weeks you will have the result. So that is the way we are securing the environmental justice also, and then it is not that we direct the closure, you see. We ensure that through bodies we achieve it, and the 46 cases are still pending of that nature. Reports are being called in that.
I am very glad, Mr. Mishra, Justice Mishra, that you bring me to this point that you have sought reports and you have ensured action in almost above 95% cases. But there is again impression, just as I said, that there is an impression that human rights are only for the rich, mighty and influential. There is an impression that NHRC issues notices to the state governments over the various cases of violations of human rights, but nothing comes out of it.
It's not correct to say that nothing comes out of it. Actually, our work is silent work. And then we ensure that whenever there is a complaint of violation of human right, we do the justice in those cases. And wherever we find that there is a violation of human rights, we recommend the compensation, and invariably it is paid. And also departmental action is taken in case a police officer has erred in performance of the duty. Even criminal prosecution has been ordered by us, and has been criminal prosecution of several incumbents for violation of their rights. Now recently we have asked several local bodies to provide safety gears to the workers involved in the septic tank cleaning.
Yeah, manual scavenging.
That is not called manual scavenging precisely. I will say that they are involved in the hazardous work.
Okay.
So it is the duty of the local bodies to provide them the safety gears. And particularly when we have issued an advisory on 24th of September 2021, and still if they are not providing it, so it will become culpable negligence on their part. And we have asked a number of bodies, such bodies, local bodies and even officials, why you should not be criminally prosecuted, why you are not providing safety gears to these incumbents who are involved in the hazardous work. It should be rather mechanical cleaning.
Yes, mostly it should be.
Now government has accepted that advisory, and it has advised the local bodies to go for mechanical cleaning. I am happy to share that with you.
Justice Mishra, you come from the apex of judiciary like your predecessors. You come from right of the apex of the judiciary, from the Supreme Court of this country, where obviously, as designed by the Constitution, justices enjoy enormous powers. You think at NHRC enjoys enough powers, or do you think more teeth is required to be given to this body? Particularly, Justice Mishra, I ask this because, unlike the past, issues like climate change will not remain confined to individuals. They will become a problem of large settlements of human beings. Large populations will be impacted. A large number of people will face challenges which have never been faced before by the humanity, and hence I ask you this question, that do you think that currently the powers that the NHRC enjoys are enough to ensure that climate justice for them?
Actually, according to me, if we compare from the court and then NHRC, here I feel that power is little more to begin with, to initiate the cases, suo motu also. There is enough power. Whatever you feel that this is the field where you should bring the change, you can pick up that field. You can take that subject for improvement and draw suo motu processing and proceed that. This you cannot do in the courts. Our jurisdiction is very tight in that whatever points are raised in a particular matter, we have to deal with that matter only. And then here the subjects are, particularly when we talk of human rights violation in general provision in the section 12, where other human rights violations, it has been interpreted by Supreme Court that it is very wide powers. Connotation of this expression is very wide. So, and then see, no more teeth is required. I feel that our commission, our institute is the best in the world. It has so much power, so many powers. We have independent investigation wing. We can investigate where the police has failed. And our investigation team, in fact, is investigating where the police has failed. And they are finding the real cause and real accused and how this offense took place. Let me share with you. There is one case in which the existence of one woman was denied by a government, that no such person exists. Our team went there, not only found the existence of that person, that woman existed, but she was found alive also. So this is the way our team goes, and then post-poll violence and whose tragedy in Bihar, and then I am happy to share that Bihar government has, after our team visited there and recommended compensation, government has issued a general order that it will be paying compensation of 4 lakh with effect from 2016 to all those who have died in whose tragedies. This is the impact of our, work.
To all those who have died in Hooch
in Bihar after 2016.
That is a big impact.
No postmortem report is necessary as per that order of the government.
Particularly because Mr.
And
similar
has been
facing a lot of criticism about
yes.
that.
No, and then silicosis, if we take it. Several governments have framed schemes with respect to not only with the payment of pension but compensation also, and compensation appointment is also being offered by several state governments. Very happy situation is there, and then we began it that you please frame the scheme. Now in the cases of suicide also, for prevention we have issued an advisory recently. There should not be ligature material, any bathrooms etc., latrines etc., so that person can hang
You're
himself.
Talking about the under trial suicide.
Under trial prisoners, prison conditions, because suicide is the most major cause of death in the judicial custody. Otherwise, this is natural death. Suicide is the major cause of death, unnatural death.
Justice Mishra, I am glad that you bring me to this point of international...
And we are paying compensation in that.
Yes.
In suicide.
I am again happy that you bring me to this point of NHRC, our NHRC, that is the Indian NHRC, having tremendous powers compared to international forums. Recently, Justice Mishra, there has been a problem. There is a global alliance which has deferred the accreditation of NHRC twice, and because of which your representation at the UN General Assembly for Human Rights also is in jeopardy. What are you doing about it, and how has this impasse come about?
Actually, what they are insisting, they have insisted in 2017 also.
Yes.
2017 they asked that you change the method of selection of your candidates. There should be applications and all that. I feel that though nobody prevents from filing application and staking the claim, but if you are having the post reserved for Chief Justice of India or judges of the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice, nobody is going to apply. They will never apply for any post. You select them or don't select them. If you are having such kind of composition which is nowhere in parallel, has parallel in the world, then your procedure has to be little, safeguards are also there, and then persons from civil society are also being considered. There are posts available for them, and our woman member was really activist. She was a lawyer. She has retired only last year. So it's not that person from the society are not coming to the NHRC.
So you think it's more of an administrative issue rather than talking about the quality of work that you do?
It is, if we talk of quality, I should not be misunderstood that the bulk of the complaints which we are dealing with is unparalleled in the world. More than 1 lakh complaint per year. Online system. Several, even from Ganry, people have come to learn this system, understand our system of online management of the complaint, how we are doing, how we are managing these complaints. And this is the best system in the world. Not only NHRC is there, we have roughly 580 employees. And then we have SHRCs also, State Human Rights Commissions also. They are also working in every state. So our network, probably other commissions in the world and other ombudsmen where they have been appointed, they are not even parallel to one state commission, you see. So this is a respect for human rights which we have by our deep-rooted cultural tradition from the time of Rig Veda, you see, 5,000 years back. That is the tradition which is going on, and that is the way, same way it is reflected in our constitution as well as in our act.
Let me then again come to one controversy that keeps erupting again and again. That is about, that the statutory bodies or the constitutional bodies or the bodies which have independent powers like National Commission for Women, National Commission for Minorities, National Human Rights Commission, are also increasingly becoming political, that they have not remained apolitical, that when it is one side, they will issue notices quickly and they will ask for inquiry commissions, reports, etc. But when it is the other side, which is the government side of the day, they become somewhat lackadaisical. Is it true? Would you agree with this or will you not agree with this?
I do not agree at all, because for the reason, because if we see from a color glasses, everything will be in that color. One. Number two, if you see the data, see the annual report of our commission, what action we have taken in which state has beared the brunt of payment of compensation. You will find the correct thing, correct data, correct record. So this is a perception where people bring the political kind of cases and they expect political results. These are not the institution for political gains, you see. We are for serving the human rights. We serve the really those class which requires our help, you see, not for political purposes.
True.
Either for this side or for that side. So to consider and us our work functioning from political tangle and angle is probably it's not understanding the real job and what we are doing on ground level. And that can be, our report is placed on the Legislative Assembly every year of the state as well as in the Parliament here. So that report can be seen by anybody, what we are doing, what we have done in which state, whether it can be said to be political. Facts will speak.
Justice Mishra, let me ask you my final question. The fact is that you have now had a significant tenure here, you've spent a significant period of time. You are also an eminent jurist, you are a man of law, you are a man of constitution. Do you think you are happy with the work that the bodies like Human Rights Commission, etc. are able to do in this country to aid the poor, downtrodden and the needy? Because that's the whole idea.
You see, I will say that though we are working, we issue advisory, but still we have to pursue it. That should not be there. Once the advisory has been issued, it should be orderly followed by everybody. But you see, unless we direct again and again to take the feedback and this and that, and again if I tell you about the mental hospitals and then laws with respect to which of amendment which we sought of Hansen's disease, persons with suffering with the Hansen's disease, still there are more than 90 laws in our country which are discriminatory to them. Either you are suffering with that disease, you will go out of the body, executive body of a particular university or something like that. You ask them to modify and remove this discriminatory part because it is no more infectious once particular medicines are taken by those persons. But still, though some states have responded, but lot is required to be done. So I feel that with respect to mental hospitals also lot is required to be done, particularly in the field that those persons who have recovered. We have a wholesome act of Mental Health Act 2017 that requires person who has recovered should not be retained in the hospital, should not be kept in the hospital. Either he should be sent back to the house, and he has the right to live with the community. Or in case family is not accepting, then he has to be kept in the halfway homes. But implementation of this act is not still very efficient. So we have asked now the hospitals to send them back, and particularly in Maharashtra, Thane mental hospital, we have asked Director General of the Police as well as Chief Secretary and other incumbents, those who are in charge of that, and our investigation team of NHRC also, to help them go back to their houses. There are more than 200 persons who are fit but are being kept in mental hospital. There are 2,000 persons in India who are being kept for years together in the mental hospital in spite of having been recovered and fit to go back to home.
It's a tedious work, Mr. Justice Mishra. I wish you all the luck. It's a work which truly impacts the lives of the people who need the aid the most. That is why I wish you all the more luck. Thank you very much for speaking to Times Network, and I wish you all the luck for your conference as well. Thank you.